Hello everyone, it's Soapy here, and I am going to be bringing you guys some Endless Legends. This is a game I picked up recently, and I found that I really liked it. After playing games like Civilization 5 for a couple hundred hours, I decided that I was looking for another 4X game, um, because 4Xs are fun. I like real time and turn-based strategy games. And since most 4Xs are turn-based, I decided that I was going to look for a 4X because the 4Xs are probably my favorite type of turn-based. Since I'm not really looking for like turn-based RPG only combat. Although I have to say this game's kind of combat focused, at least for me. The combat's a big part of it. And I'm also going to tell you I'm not very good at it. I really don't. I never was one to learn what was good. I was always one to read up and, like, absorb it pretty well. So I decided that, this would be my way of. I'm going to try and change that. I'm going to try and do some analytical videos. The first thing you're going to notice is that I'm not actually playing one of the default empires, mainly because I forgot to change it before I started the video. Because the last thing I was playing was my food crophage, where I changed out some of their stuff. One of the neat features about this game, for those of you who don't know what it does allow you to edit factions. So I pick my affinity, Broken Lords, or Necrophages, Wild Waker, Walkers, Wakers, Walkers. Ardent Mages, the Draken, whatever, and I can give them buffs or, I can basically change them up. Wait, what? Oh, that's a good thing. Huh. Anyway, for real dog? What's a cannon folder? Wow, I really need to read up on Ardent Mages. Anyway, I know a decent bit about the game, as far as like the basic understanding that you can have. I understand what certain things, certain people are good for. The roving clans cannot declare war, but they make a ton of money. The Broken Lords do not use food; they only use money. The Wild Wakers are about buildings and creating things, and also a lot of ranged units that are good. So I know an okay bit. I also know that these are the guys who did Endless Space. If any of you have seen that, it's another 4X space strategy instead of fantasy strategy. They also did Endless Dungeon, I think is what it's called, and those are all tied into this world. So the stuff that you see in Endless Legends is also a part of the stuff that you may be seeing in Endless Space. Not necessarily to the T. I don't really know what's canon as far as everything that's happening in the world, but you get my point. So I'm probably going to play random. A faction will randomly be picked from the major factions. My only concern is that this may pick either my Proto Drake or my Food Crophage, which wouldn't be good, but we'll see. And if it does, then I'll just not use this at all. Yeah. I have done a lot of two-player stuff, but two-player stuff is kind of easy because you can just steamroll your opponent real quick. Actually, the four-player stuff hasn't been very hard, mainly because I've mostly been playing on normal. The reason that is because I didn't really understand the game up until now. I know 4X is enough not to need to do newbie or easy, but I've never really played a lot of these kinds of 4Xs. Like I said, I played a lot of, oh god, what is it? Civilization. I don't know why I forgot that name. I played a lot of Civilization. Civilization and this game are not exactly the same. But you'll find that out pretty soon. I play on normal speed. Game takes 300 turns maximum. The reason that's not going to matter is because I don't actually play with a turn limit. Because that bothers me. Well, I guess not necessarily a term limit, but a score limit. I don't know if it gives us a term limit if I don't have the score victory on. I've also turned off expansion victory because owning 80% of the map, I mean, I guess that doesn't really matter when I've got 4 people, so I'll turn that back on. No timed battles, no timed turns. That's a lot of... This is going to be a lot more thinking. I do a lot of custom stuff, but for this, I'm just going to do regular old Pangea, regular, topography. Random. World difficulty. We'll do random, or normal, not random. So, yeah. This is about... The only thing I would really want to change here is the land percentage. 50% of the surface map is land. I haven't figured out what water is good for. Because, as far as I'm aware, there's no form of naval combat. Water only serves as like a neutral ground, I guess, and also as a hindrance in battle maps, which I'll show you guys later, and you'll understand what I mean when I say that. So yeah, I guess we'll just go with it. It's nice to have a little neutral land. Temperature, temperate, topography, random. Yeah, that's nice. World difficulty normal, continent shape regular, world shape Pangea. Whoop, that's not good. It's the battery low. Okay. I'll have to plug that in a minute. Custom factions. No custom factions. Although that doesn't really matter when I'm not playing online, but it will eliminate any chance of me getting a custom faction. My favorite color is red, so I'm going to go with red. Here we go. I might have gotten Ardent Mages. This is the Ardent Mage splash screen. I'll be able to show you guys the little benefits to my faction that I may or may not get. Load screens are a little long in this game. But that's because you're creating a world, you know. Oh, I got Wild Walkers. Okay, so the Draken's ability when they start is that when they start, they automatically know where everybody started. They see everybody's main village where it was put down. Okay, so if you've ever played Endless Space, then this stuff works off the, I think it's FIDS system, FIDS. If you haven't, let me explain. There's 4 types of resources, or basic resources. Food, construction, I guess they call it, I don't know, science, and dust. Dust is the magic of the world. It is also the currency. And I'm sure the rest you can pretty basically understand. So most of these are basic things. Depending on what the tile is, it will tell you what effects it gives. So dirt fields give +1 to science. It'll tell you in the bottom left, right above your little UI there. That's always going to be there. And it gains +1 dust from terrain with arid and +1 from dirt fields. Now, there are these things called anomalies, which are little things that are put on the map that change what certain tiles give. So in this case, I'm half tempted to settle right about here, because those wizard stones, this isn't a resource, a basic resource, but it is something that matters. If you look in the bottom left, you'll see the thumbs up, and it'll say 10 next to the thumbs up. That's because it gives 10 more approval for my city. Approval is important because when you're in disapproval, you lose half of your food production and half of your production. So, thankfully, it doesn't necessarily kill you, which is nice. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to settle right here next to these wizard stones to get that extra 10 approval. The extra 10 approval is going to be really, really good for me because I'm going to get kind of expandy since a lot of this is construction and a lot of what I need is construction as my race. I don't have a lot of dust production though. But I'll have to worry about that in a minute. Oh, when you zoom out enough, you'll see a world map. It'll tell you the names of the places. That's very important for things like this, which is a little minor faction village, which you will have to appease at some point. Speaking of... So this is our tech tree. I kind of like this tech tree. It's very non-linear. When you get 8 technologies, you unlock the next thing. The thing about that is, though, I don't have to get necessarily 8 technologies from Tier 2 to get to Tier 3. What it is when I research a new technology after having unlocked a new tier, doesn't matter what tier it's in, I do go up to the next tier, if I'm correct, and I'm pretty sure I am. Could be wrong, but I don't think so. Like I said, I'm still a little new to this game, so I may or may not be leading you all down the wrong path. So I'm going to get Language Square. Language Square allows me to parlay on minor empires as well as bribe minor empires. The reason you want to parlay with minor empires is minor empires will give you bonuses. This is a minor empire. This is the Jotus minor empire. And the reason I would want to parlay with it is that if I do, I can get its favor, which means it won't produce bad units that'll try and attack me, and it will allow me, if I assimilate it, to produce units that I like. This is the basic screen for your empire. This is your empire bonuses, Wild Wakers on Empire, or Wild Walkers, appearance on Empire. +1 on terrain with forest from living towns during summer season. Wave woodlands on Empire, and this is basically a easy way to tell you what all you've got going. Empire plans are something I'll explain in a little bit. Stockpiles are something I'll explain in a little bit. Luxury resources and strategic resources are fairly important. These are what the Wild Walkers have from the beginning. Every faction has 3 unit types, or has 3 different units. They have to be researched. And the way you get other units is by going to here and going to the market, which I won't be able to do for a while. So right now, I'm going to go check out those temple ruins, because I kind of want to see what they might have in them. You also have a main quest for every faction. So I'm going to begin mine. Mine is to... I can't get the big... Explore the map and search for ruins. Like these. Which is why I'm doing this. Oh, I should be building something. Which is my bad. You're always going to want to start building things. I'm going to build a Founders Memorial because it gives me a lot of bonuses. And I don't need a sewer system right now, so let's build seed storage. Alright, I got my language square, so I'm going to be able to parlay with those people up there. Talk to them, see how much they hate me. I know I have a river inside of my place, so I'm I'm going to pick up Aqua Polavistics so that I can gain dust from this river, which I'm going to need. This is your menu, or this is your city screen up here. Actually, right here, and a little bit over here. This will basically tell you where you're allocating your workers. So I've got 2 workers. Pacified cities will also give you village population. You can pacify a city by killing it or parlaying with it. Killing it, obviously, you may lose units. Parlaying with it, you won't, but you have to do something for it. I'm not really worried about construction because I've got a lot of construction on my first tile. I did pretty well on dust, and by pretty well, I mean my palace is keeping me happy enough that I can do that. My science is good. Usually science is a little bit harder to come by when you're not on arid desert or, like, tundra. So this was a really good start for me. So right now I'm basically going with food, because I need to continue growing my people. So up there it'll tell you how many turns it'll take, and you can just move these guys around. I'm just going to keep it where it is, so I can get more people. So I built my Founders Memorial. That's going to give me a bonus to everything, which does put me... So this is workers, city tiles. Oh. FIDSI. My bad. And yeah, that's basically how this works. And so far, I'm pretty much happy. Everybody in my group is happy. 30 dust from there, that's nice. Like I said, dust is the currency of this game. 30 dust is not a lot. To buy units, it takes a lot of money. Alright, I'm going to parlay with these guys. A new tribe has informed you their kidnapped brothers are somewhere in a nearby village called Umalna. Locate the Haunts village with a marker on it and destroy it. Umalna is above me, so I'm going to travel into there. Start looking around for a Haunts village. Population has grown to 3, that's nice. Now we can start doing things we want to do. We're going to need a dust dredger. So there are 2 seasons, and if you look in the bottom right where the end turn button is, you'll see at the very top of that little square is what season it currently is, summer, and how long from minimum to maximum you have until winter starts. And that will slowly tick down as the days go and keep you well up to date on what happens. When winter comes, it's really bad. Winter, for most people, reduces a lot of their fun stuff. Like, I'm going to take a lot of hard blows during winter because a lot of my stuff is summer-based, but there are a few that are winter-based. Not winter-based, per se, but do better during the winter than I will. Alright. I'm going to get an alchemist furnace so I can start getting titanium and glass steel, which are strategetic resources that I can use them to get bonuses, and I can also use them to make weapons if I want to research the weapon making process. I'm going to get a market because markets are good. Then I'm going to grab a mint and an open pit mine so I can start doing... The mint will give me more dust, and the open pit mine will... Let me get luxury resources, of which I don't think I have any yet. But I'm going to expand up to here fairly soon, so hopefully that will change. Alright, cool. So as you can see, the borders to... Oh, my hero leveled up. The hero that's working with my group right now. And I'm going to, since it's a ranger, I'm going to give it +1 movement, because that'll be really helpful. As you can see, there's a little border. Whenever I put my hand in one of the areas, there's a little border that starts blinking. There can only be 1 city in every border. It can only be controlled by 1 person, and the border color will tell you who exactly controls it. So like up there, if you can see it, it's very faint green border. So I know green's sitting up there. We don't know who green is yet, but he's sitting up there. And I went the wrong direction to find this place. Ooh, my seed storage is done. Since we're coming up on 20 minutes, I'm going to cut it here so that I feel like I've explained the bare basics decently enough. And next time I come along, I'm going to talk a little more about the Wild Walkers and also how you know where to attack and that kind of stuff. And also how you know where to expand and how expanding works in this game. thanks you guys. Thanks for watching. Click subscribe if you like. If you want to see more, click like if you like the video, because I appreciate stuff like that. And hopefully we'll see Bronx pretty soon. He's been kind of busy with school, so, you know, it is what it is. I love you all very much, and goodbye.